I mean, dark-skinned women, I don't really like dark-skinned women. Like, they look funny beside me. So, I'd rather not date a dark-skinned woman.
You rather light-skinned girl?
Yeah, light-skinned
Good
pretty.
evening, and thank you for joining me on a beautiful evening on October 7th, 2024. Today's topic is colorism. Let's get into it.
This is something that's not really talked about or spoken about in the so-called black community. They also call it the big elephant in the room. Because this is a topic of discussion that black people all across America refuses to talk about. Because it's deep-rooted into our history living in America. Colorism has destroyed so many people in the black community all across America. People today who have grown up in their childhood has experienced some form of colorism. And I want to let me make myself clear. Colorism can't go both ways. But on tonight's show, we're going to speak about the blatant discrimination of dark-skinned people. So let's get straight into it. Colorism. Colorism is a prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Colorism within the black community has been a serious emotional and psychological battle, courtesy of Google search, their definition of colorism. So, one thing that I've seen and found in my studies of my own personal experience of colorism in my own community, it's pretty horrifying, man, because when I was a kid, I couldn't identify, what I was going through. It was a very traumatic, experience for me. I couldn't identify the elements of exactly what the hell I was experiencing. And, a lot of things that has happened in the past has followed me, over the years, man. I gotta be straight frank with it, straight honest, because if we don't be honest, man, we don't discuss this issue, at hand, man, we're gonna be perpetuating an endless cycle of madness. And unfortunately, today in 2023, I can honestly say, man, it's getting worse and worse, man, when it comes to trying to collaborate and unify with black people, with all of our people, with all different hues and shades and colors, all these different colors we got out here, man. Let me be clear, man, we are beautiful people, man. We are God's chosen people. But it's something about us carrying the genetics of them people, of white folks, Today in 2023, we still believe that the white man is superior. And we want to carry on his indoctrination. We want to eat like him, we want to be like him. We want to think like him, we want to dream like him, we want to do everything the goddamn white man do. And we even want to physically take on his characteristics and phenotype. The bottom line is a lot of us out here in America, man, black folks, we want to be white people. And we want to be white folks so bad, man, it's mind-boggling, man. It's actually kind of scary. And it's hard to be able to unify with our people when we got our people with that type of mentality. And in every black community, in every black ghetto all across America, you always going to find a families in these particular geographical locations, no matter where you live. I'm out here in Newark, New Jersey, Rick City. And this thing has followed us deeply, and it has put us in grave danger because colorism is dangerous, man. You got black people hating on other black people because they carry a darker hue and melanation, you know what I'm saying? Or because you come from a light-skinned family, or, you have white folks in your ancestry, and, it's like, we out here, man, hating on each other, hating on ourselves. We was out here, man, being taught for years and years, man, to hate ourselves for so long that it has become socially accepted to hate dark-skinned people. Now, in my own personal experiences, man, I've been called every black joke or so-called joke in a book, as a kid, you know what I'm saying? It just became normalized, where it's just like I've become desensitized to those jokes, because it's like, wait, there's no black joke I haven't been called. That's just the bottom line. There's nothing that I haven't been called. But we're gonna get straight deep into this, man. I gotta warm up, because this is there's so much in my mind when it comes to this topic. It's like, wow, like trying to get my mind right so we can get straight and delve straight into this point. Thank you again for joining me on Bree Speaks. Today's topic again is colorism, and we're going to speak about black folks hating other black people because of their darker hues. And this has become socially accepted in America. And my biggest problem is the fact that black folks that's doing this, man, there's so many of them. Like, I done lost count. You know what I'm saying? You have overt colorists and you have covert colorists. And the dangerous ones, really, I believe, man, is the covert colorists, because one thing about the covert colorists is that they hide it and despise. They deeply, in their hearts, they believe that light skin is superior. They believe that white is superior. White and light is superior. Not just like white and light is superior. And they want to be like the white man. One thing to look out for when identifying people who are colorists, look out for what the things they say, the things they do, but more importantly, look out for the people that they date. That's very important. When you are trying to look for and identify colorists, look for the people that they date. Because being able to identify and see the people and the individuals that they choose to collaborate with and choose as a mate will tell you a lot about who they are. Also, you want to study the patterns of the people that they choose to collaborate and choose as a mate. In other words, if you have, I would say, a dark-skinned brother, let me use that for an example. If you have a dark-skinned brother who chooses either someone outside of his race or a woman that does not reflect him or his skin tone, even he can be a colorist. Although he's dark-skinned, although he possesses the God-given melanin that he possesses, he himself can be a colorist. He believes that everybody else is superior except for himself. He is a certified self-hater. He hates himself. He chooses not to be or collaborate with, in other words, with people who reflect himself. And let's be honest, we all know that most black people in America aim for the so-called trophy. What is the trophy? The white woman or the light-skinned woman with the straight hair that they can hold on a pedestal and show off before the world. A black woman with Eurocentric phenotype. Most black people in America, unfortunately, carry these genetics as a result of hundreds of years of our ancestors being raped by the slave master and our open enemies. A lot of black folks carry Eurocentric phenotypes. You know and I know this. Right? So, most black folks aim and strive to reproduce what? Light-skinned kids, right? Let's keep it real. Now, if we're going to discuss this topic, we got to keep it all the way 100. Most black folks want a light-skinned baby, right? And then, so when you look at and you study these patterns with black people, who they choose to date, you're going to see a lot about their character. Now, when we're talking about overt colorists, those light-skinned black folks that, or I want to refer to them as the people that lacks melanin. You know what I'm saying? They have melanin, but they lack melanin. They're not all the way original. You know what I'm saying? Like myself. Not to be boastful or anything, but let's keep it a buck, man. We know the dark-skinned original man and woman, man, is God's true chosen people, man. Now you can disagree with this all you want, but we all know that the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Y'all heard that quote in a Tupac Shakur song back in the day, and the overt colorists, they tend to give it to you blatant. It's kind of like almost like how the white man, the overt white man, overt white supremacists, give it to you hardcore, tell you how you feel, But like I said, you have the covert colorists that chooses to hide it from the community. And why I said earlier, it's dangerous because you got some people out here in these grassroots organizations, all of these organizations, man, so many of them. We have so many organizations in the black community, I don't lost count on that. But just to name a few, the Black Panther Party, Nation of Islam, man. Even in these organizations, we all not perfect. Even in these organizations, man, we practice colorism. And we can only go by the ballistics and the evidence, based on what people see, based on what I see, based on the evidence and data that I collected and research. We all know that in the Nation of Islam, most of the ministers is light skinned. Let's keep it a buck, right? This is not a lie. This is no lie. This is no shade or attack on the Nation of Islam, but most of them, the ministers are light skinned.
And we also find that most of the members in the rank and file throughout the Nation of Islam are light skinned. And basically what I see and what I find is a consistent pattern of blatant discrimination of the original dark-skinned man. Now, as we all know, if you can recall, we had brothers, in the Nation of Islam who were in the rank and file, and who were, also that held position. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, to name one. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, man, he was a very, very original black man. All praise to he was a very dark-skinned brother, man, very beautiful, blue-black dark-skinned brother, man, and it's very unfortunate to see, what had happened to that brother, man, how he was ousted out of the Nation of Islam. That's a whole nother conversation, but I can give my own personal perspective, what I think happened, what I believe, what was going on. The bottom line is, you got haters everywhere, man. You got haters in these organizations, man, and they hate on you, man, and they practice that hate. They practice that colorism. Like I stated a minute ago, you have these other ministers that want to get to the top, so what do? They undermine, man. Like I said, I got my own personal opinion why I believe Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad didn't make the cut. But these are the things of how we identify colorism, what I'm talking about. The basics is just studying people's patterns, man. If you grew up in a family, a multi-colored family, man, and you always see that you always receive the bottom, you was always at the bottom of the barrel, you always received a short end of the stick, as such as myself, man, because I can honestly tell you, where I grew up as a child, in my early days, man, I was one of the darker kids in one of the foster homes, and as being a dark-skinned kid and with original and different phenotype than the rest of the kids, because most of the kids look Black American. But me, I have very strong roots, very strong features. My mother and my grandmother, they're both quote unquote Black Americans. Like I said, I don't go by those terms. I don't accept those terms, no way, shape, or fashion. But my ancestry comes from the descendants of slaves. Let me be clear. But I carry, very strong features. So when a lot of kids observed and see me, they always thought I was from somewhere else. I was called Haitian, I was called Nigerian, all kinds of different names, like I said earlier in the post, the message, earlier in the broadcast. My apologies. So, I would receive these different names because as a form of trying to separate me from everyone else. And, it was horrifying as a kid, like I said, man, but, I got through it, I went through it, and it is what it is. I also received bad treatment. Anything that happened in that foster home, the blame was put on me. This is just what I'm telling you. Now, let me be real. Like, I wasn't the best. I wasn't no saint or anything like that as a kid. But there was things that I really didn't do, and the kids could just point the finger at me, and I would really catch all the heat in the hell. Like, you had these various different kids living in the house. They got light-skinned kids. They got different treatment. Different various forms of treatment. They got the better clothes. They got the better sneakers. They got the top of the line name brand sneakers. I got the Payless sneakers. Everything was just horrific, horrifying, man. And to have to experience that, and be a grown man now and look back at that, it's like, wow, it made me into the man I am today. As far as like loving who I am and loving myself, because I didn't always love myself. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't have nobody to teach me a knowledge of self, a knowledge of my history as a Black man in America. I didn't have this. I didn't receive knowledge of self until I was 20, going on 21. You know what I'm saying? And, as the years progressed, the levels and degrees of knowledge and wisdom, just increase. I'm 36 now. So as I look back over the years, we still see the same patterns and we still going through the same shit. Even in my own community, like all you gotta, you know that saying, they say a picture tells 1,000 words. I really believe that. Like when you see a photograph, it says 1,000 words. It says a lot. It says many things in the photograph. And, the details in the photograph. It tells a story. So when you see these photographs and you see these pictures, with people, whether it's people in the picture, it's going to tell you a lot about the picture. When you see an individual inside in the picture with a group of people, or different groups of people, you see the same person with different groups of people, and they all look a certain way, right? And I'm just using this as an example. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. We're not going to make this thing personal. We're just talking about how we identify colorism. So what I saw was, when I see these photographs with the individual with various groups of pictures, various groups of people in different pictures, and they all coincidentally happen to be on the brown or light side, brown skin or light skin, right? What I find is that these people, the person in the picture is a colorist. It shows that they only hang around white or brown people. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you had the brown paper bag test. The brown paper bag test is a real thing out here, man. Like it's like the only motherfuckers I see winning is like black and white. I mean, brown and white. Brown and white. It's the only people I see winning in my community. I swear to God, yo. That's all I see. And if you are original dark skin, if you are original dark skin individual and you winning, it's because you had to do some nefarious shit or you fucking had to sell some fucking pussy. And that's what I see. Like, motherfuckers, they sell pussy and they can get to the top. If you dark skin. Or you gotta be a fucking bootlegger or a fucking house nigga. This is what I'm seeing. I'm telling you what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be outrageous, but I'm telling you how we identify colorism in our fucking communities, man. You know, these people have disregard for a love of self, man. And this thing needs to really be destroyed because if we don't destroy it, how can we progress as a black nation, as a pure black nation? When you got individuals and people out here trying to not purify the race, they're trying to dilute the race. So if you're not trying to purify the race, you're only trying to dilute the race. And this all stems from the root. What is the root? Self-hatred, right? We know we want death. We want death to self-hatred. We want to kill self. We want to kill self-hatred in any manner, form that we can. Self-hatred must be demolished if we ever want to be on top. Because like I said in my 2022 broadcast, man, that I am highly convinced that if we ever was to separate as a people, I truly, honest to God, do not believe that we all going to get along, that we all going to live in this separate nation in peace. Because of exactly what the fuck we're going through right now as a people in 2023. I am highly convinced that we're going to have various tribes, various, you know, different tribes in this separation because I don't think that there's going to be one nation without it looking like some type of neocolonial shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just telling you some real shit because this is what I see right now, you know. Most of the politicians, you know, I can just really do like a slideshow of the images and the things that I see on a daily basis. You know, because one thing about me, I love to show and prove. I have no issue or problem showing and proving what I'm talking about. And I don't like to talk about stuff I don't know what I'm talking about. You know? I'm trying to figure out, you know, what is the solution? The solution, man, the solution to our plight as a people into this colorist thing is to teach our babies the knowledge of self and who is the original man and woman. Not your perception or your, you know, of the original people. Show them true black images of real black people. Not after we came to America. No, not in the last 50, 60, 100 years. No, we're talking about show them images of our people before slavery. Like our babies must see these images in order for us to show respect, man. You know, to be respectful to our roots and our ancestors. If you don't have any black images in the home, and you know, you're bound to fail. We bound to perpetuate this endless cycle of colorism. You know, another thing I want to talk about when identifying colorism, man, is watching out for your friends, man. Watching out for their behavior patterns. This is the same thing like I was talking about how, you know, watching out for the people that who they date, and you know, their patterns and people they date. You know, you never see them with a dark skinned woman, you never see them with a dark skinned man. You know, look out for that type of stuff. You know, definitely look out for that because that definitely will tell you a lot about their character. In fact, I know this sister. You know, she is a very beautiful black woman, man. Very blue black, very original, very dark, very, very beautiful and dark. You know, she may look beautiful on the outside, and she may be even, you know, a pretty beautiful person on the inside. But there was something that I've seen about her over the years, you know, just from studying her ways, studying her behavior and her character. You know. And I took a lot of mental note, you know. I won't say the individual's name, but, you know, this is a person that I know. And one of the patterns that I noticed about her, you know, she always worshiping some, she's always around and she's always around some light-skinned folks, you know. She's always around them, you know, taking pictures, you know, bucking her teeth, you know. She's bucking her teeth, cheesing, always around some, you know, some light-skinned folks, man. Some, you know, she's never around. She never like even her, you know, if I can recall my recollection, even the person that she has dated was either on the brown or light side. And I studied her. I know she truly likes, her taste has been in light skinned dudes, you know. But I do know that she was with, at one point in time, she was with a dark skinned brother. You know, and when she passed away, R.I.P., you know, she was with a dark skinned brother. I did catch it with a dark skinned brother at one point in time. Oh yes, I did. But it's like after that, you know, she just like, I don't know, man. She just always around, like, and she in the photographs with light skinned folks, you know, like she just hate her. Almost like she giving me the vibe, like she hate herself, man. Like she has even been through some traumatic things in her life, you know, growing up as a dark skinned black girl, you know. She give me those vibes, you know. She most definitely do. You know, don't want to get off, getting too deep into her, but I just felt like I just wanted to mention that, because what I find in like various situations involving like our dark skinned sisters all across the country is that they have had a similar, if almost not the same experiences. Like a lot of most black brothers, most dark skinned black men, a lot of dark skinned sisters experience these same horrific situations growing up as a child, and it's the same patterns. If you look at it, the statistics, you'll find that a lot of sisters, was ousted, from the brothers. They couldn't find a good, they couldn't find a good mate, they couldn't find a boyfriend, because they was always played out, and dark skin, like I said, I put a lot of focus on the dark skin brothers too, because the dark skin brothers is the ones that played a major role in, calling the dark skin sister ugly, so I put, it's not about putting the blame game, we all have our issues and we all are traumatized people, but a lot of dark skinned sisters hate themselves and they grow up having a disdain against dark skinned brothers, when they get older because of what they went through as a teenager and as a child. Let me be clear, you know what I'm saying? I'm not justifying or saying that is right, but I gotta be mutual in this, so I gotta be transparent. And when we're gonna talk about this, we gotta talk about the facts. So like I said, I do know that a lot of dark skinned sisters, was the ones that was left at the bottom of the barrel when it came to dating and stuff like that, in a lot of situations, that I do see, that there was a lot of light skinned brothers, they come swoop these sisters up, and so it's kind of, it's kind of difficult, talking about this, because it's like, you have situations where you did have dark skinned brothers playing the sisters out, because these niggas hate themselves, you know what I'm saying? But not all dark skinned brothers. You got dark skinned brothers out there that love chocolate sisters, that love original dark skinned sisters. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but you have a lot of situations in our communities where we put our sisters down. We call them ugly, when it's completely the opposite. None of our sisters, and then you can't be ugly just because you're dark skinned. That don't even make sense. That's just like saying just because you're light skinned, every light skinned person is bad. But I mean, shit, in some situations, man, based on what I see, man, some of these motherfuckers, they act like, man, if you light skinned, you just pretty much a symbol or anything about, because like, motherfucker ain't got, I seen a lot of, unmelanated people, like, on the light side, that they get swooped up, and I'm like, dang, that motherfuckers think that, you think that's bad? You think that's beautiful? Like, that ain't all right. But, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. It's a fucking quagmire in our community, man. Like, it's like, it's insane, man, because me personally, like, I'm in a situation right now, right? Like, so I'm in a situation where, like, I find myself checking in with these dark skinned sisters, right? Now, I can honestly say, out of all the women that I dated in my life, right? And I dated well over 10, 15 women. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say that I had three of those women was dark skinned, right? But for the most part, but that was like, two of those women was in my younger years, right? The last sister that I dated, she was dark skinned. She's from Guyana, right? But I find myself, attracted. Like today in 2023, I find myself, I love black women, period. Let me be clear, but I find myself attracted to dark skinned women, like, and I always say to myself that, whenever it's that time, whenever it's permissible, when I procreate, when I reproduce, I want to have a king or a young king or queen that reflects myself, and I think that makes sense, man. And I want my children to be dark skinned. But it's hard and difficult, man, trying to find a person that's suitable, that meet my needs, and that's compatible, with my philosophy, my ideology, my spirituality. Trying to find a black woman, a dark skinned black woman, with that meets the characteristics of what I'm looking for, right? I find it hard because most of the sisters that's dark skinned, they go outside. So I'm stuck in the jam. Unfortunately. I'm checking on these women. Some of these women, some of these women may be married, some of these women may have boyfriends or whatever the case may be. Some of the women may be single. But I find myself in some situations where, like, for example, like I was checking in on this one sister, right? Very attractive, beautiful dark skinned black woman. Very beautiful personality and all that. She got all that, And sometimes I check in on her, and I honestly believe that a person knows when a person likes them. I honestly truly believe, like, I don't like to play like mind games and stuff like that. Like I know when a person know that like you like them or not, they know that. Like, always checking in on them, making sure they're all right and stuff like that. But my thing is this: if I check on you, you don't check back. It is what it is. I'm not with that weird stuff. I'm not with that weird shit. I'm not gonna harass nobody. I'm not gonna, I check on the sister and I let them know, like, yo, don't be flamboyant. I don't have to be flamboyant and aggressive with her. I let them know, like, yo, sister, checking on you, all right? She's gonna know that I like it. I mean, not getting to specifics and details, but she's gonna know that I like it. But I find it like a situation where I check in on her, but I believe that she's checking in on people that's not really checking back for her. You know what I'm saying? That's not really checking back on her. They checking on other people. So this shit is just all crazy. But we are going on minute 39, and I really appreciate y'all tuning in to the broadcast and to the message, and showing your support, man. Your support is definitely important for helping everything going through the algorithm and such. And We're going to conclude on this broadcast on how to identify colorists. Bree Speaks, October 24, 2023. Thank you for tuning in.
See, you white devil, you got that white man in you, bitch. You got that white man and you still got that white man in you. Look at you. You half white. You got all that white in you. Grandmother white. Bitch, you got that slave master in you. I told you couldn't do it. I told you, bitch. You ain't strong enough. Bitch, you ain't shit. You got that white man in you. That white man hate me. And I hate that white man. Cause I'm a field nigga. Fuck you. I told you couldn't make it out. You got that white man, just like Velvet. You got that white man in you. Can't stand y'all light-skinned bitches. Cause you got that white man in you. I told you.